you do the things you do, I still can't believe that it's true. I get hungry when I think of you. Like champagne and caviar, you're such a treat. Like cherries to believe, you're oh so sweet. You whet my appetite each time we meet. Oh, James, it's true. I get hungry when I think of you.
Hi there. Welcome to the Urban Peasant. Just watering my flowers. Okay. Now today, this is the Urban Peasant, which shows you how to do it quickly. Quick and easy and comfortable. And comfortable is the word for today. We're going to make chicken stew and dumplings, and they ain't nothing more cuddly than dumplings, right? And we're going to make some really nice peas, a different way to do it, and we're going to make a fantastic dessert, just much quicker than you ever thought possible. So we'll just start off and make the chicken stew, all right? Now you get a pot, because you have to have a pot to cook in, and we're going to put the fire underneath it. Now we're going to make the chicken stew out of chicken wings. Why? Because chicken wings were cheap. We bought the family pack, and there it was. Even if it's only for two of you, buy the family pack, make some chicken stew, put it in the refrigerator, put it in the freezer if you want to. Because I read in the paper the other day that 80% of offices now have microwaves. So you can take your chicken stew to work, and you can have chicken stew while everybody else is chomping away on a Spam sandwich. All right? So let me just start off. I'll put that in there for a moment. With the chicken wings. We don't need fat. Why don't we need fat? Well, because the chicken wings have got fat just under the skin, and we're going to boil it out of them. We're also using a non-stick pan, which helps you a great deal if you want to keep your fat intake down. All right? So just put them in there in the hot pan and let them start to sing. This is the essence of cooking, is the noise and the smell. All those things are really, really important. You learn to do things simply. Well, you don't put any more than you've got room for. That's a really important thing. You put in just enough to take it up. And when they're cooked on one side, you turn them over. See, they just got to go dry. Let me show you quickly that happens. If you've got a dry pan, they start to change color. That's all you need, the fat starting to come out of the chicken wings. And as soon as you've done that, and you can do this with thighs, you can do it with chicken breasts, you can do it with the whole chicken. Just depends how much time you've got. And we're going to get this done in less than half an hour. That's what we're going to do. So there you are. Turn them over. We need some onion. Of course we need some onion. We can't cook without onion, can we? So in goes the onion in good big chunks, and stir it around. Just stir it around. You want some carrots? Sure. Let's put in some nice looking carrots this time. Get in the little ones, throw them in, so that you've got color in there, because we want food that looks dreary, food that bores you. It's like buying clothes. You buy clothes to be exciting, you buy flowers to be exciting, you make food to look exciting. And if it doesn't look right, then put that back in there. If it doesn't look right, it isn't going to taste right. That's all there is to it. So look, there's still no fat coming out of that, but it's starting to glisten on the bits of chicken. All right? Now, that's the start of our stew. We need a little bit of thyme in there, because it's a simple, simple stew. So we'll put in, about that much thyme. All right? We give it a good old rub to break it up, and we'll put that in there. We won't put any salt in. We won't put any garlic, because this is a simple stew. This is for people who will want it simple. All right? So there we are. And we need some liquid. Now we have a choice. We can put anything in here. We can put water in it, but since I got some red wine, we might as well put some red wine in it. And we'll just put the red wine in now into the stew. And if you want to stop putting red wine in there and put half water, that's okay. You can put all water, you can put apple juice, it'll taste different, but that's what you do. There's our stew. And that's just got to sit there and go for a little bit. I want some celery. All right, let's put some celery in there. Put it in fairly big pieces. Put the leaves in too, because they all taste good. Put it in there. And there you are. The stew. I don't want to get too dirty, do I? The stew going away to cook itself. And we'll just put the lid on it, let it cook. Now, while that's happening, I'm going to show you. First of all, I'm going to give you a trick. We need baking powder for these dumplings, but if you're going to use baking powder, always find out if it works, because if it doesn't work, and it doesn't when it gets old, then you're not going to enjoy yourself. Let me get some nice clear water here that you can see, and I'm going to put some baking powder in there. And you watch. As I stir it, if it's any good, just give it a stir. It will bubble up and fizz. If it doesn't fizz, forget it. Don't use it. Get some fresh, because whatever you're doing won't work. So, I'm going to take this for a measuring thing. I'm going to put a cup of flour in there. Dead easy. And I'm going to put in 2 teaspoonfuls of baking powder. Now, I haven't got a teaspoon here, so I'll put in a tablespoonful. I mean, it's the same thing. That's what you learn. I'm going to stir that in there. I'm going to break 1 egg into a cup. I'm going to beat it up. And I'm going to pour in milk until the cup is half full. And I'm just going to stir that in to that. And it will all go. Now look, I don't want it too wet. It's going to see how nice, and it's not quite, it's too dry right now. So what do? We put a little bit more milk in there. Just not too much. Stir it in there until it's dry, and look, it'll come up in spoonfuls. Look, like that. Now that is a dumpling. That is something that you can be proud of in exactly 15 minutes. So what I'm going to do is, as soon as we come back from the break, I'm going to put it in the stew, and you'll see how it cooks. And I'll be right back.
Explore the common threads in our past as we present a 5-hour investigation of history's connections. Friday beginning at 9 on TLC.
Your teeth aren't flat, are they? Of course not. If they were, a flat brush would be ideal. But since your teeth are shaped like this, we designed our brush like this. Introducing Crest Complete. Your dentist uses special instruments that get between teeth. Crest Complete gets between too, up to 37% farther than the leading flat bristle brush. So to help maintain a dentist clean at home, get new Crest Complete. Only Crest could make a brush this complete.
One taste of the ocean spray cranberry and people will say just about anything.
Bow! Hubba lubba hickaboo hoodoo mow. Hubba lubba hickaboo. Hubba lubba hickaboo hoodoo mow. Ow.
Sweet tarts.
Sweet tarts! Wow!
Wow.
Hubba lubba bee bow.
Sweet tart.
The sweet tart taste of ocean spray cran drinks. It's amazing what a little cran can do.
Bow! Hubba lubba hickaboo hoodoo mow. Hubba lubba hickaboo.
And now you can enjoy a little cran from a can. Ocean spray to go.
Welcome back to the chicken and dumpling show, the urban peasant, right? I'm just putting some tomatoes in the stew, putting some of these little onions because they'll look pretty. I'm just going to stir those in a bit, put the lid back on, and let the stew continue to turn itself into a stew. But while we do that, we're going to put the dumplings in a minute. Dumplings we got already made, dead easy, 1 egg, a little bit of flour, that's what we're doing. I want to show you something really nice to do with peas. Okay, I'm going to line this pot here. And you don't have to have this pot. You can do it with any pot, but it's nice to have a pot that you like that's the right size. Just line it with lettuce leaves. All right, and I'm going to put a little bit of butter in the bottom of it. A little bit of butter in there. Let's get that out of there. It doesn't want to come out today. And then I'm going to get some more lettuce leaves ready to go on the top. And I'm going to put some frozen peas in there. Just get them out of the freezer here. And we'll just, there they are, still, right? Frozen peas and butter. I'll put a little bit of mint in there. Crush up the mint leaves. put some mint in there, and then put lettuce leaves back on the top. Now, if you want to use lettuce leaves to make them lineable to usable, see that's got a spine in there and it won't bend, just turn that and tear it off the spine. Put that in a plastic bag, keep it for soup, and put your lettuce leaves on top. Here's another one. Tear it off, put the lettuce leaves on top, and then you put the lid on. Now, you don't put any water in there because you got juice out of the lettuce leaves and the juice out of the peas, a little bit of butter and a little bit of mint, and it'll make a sauce that will just blow you away. It's a lovely, lovely, lovely rich sauce, and it makes itself. Let me put it on the front one, a little tiny, whoops, turned the wrong one on there, little tiny, that's it, flame underneath it, and they'll take about 5 minutes for the juice to come out of the lettuce. There's all kinds of nice things in the lettuce. Well, you know what lettuce tastes like. It's nice. And there we are. Now, here's our dumplings that we made, and see how stiff they are. All right? And what you do to cook dumplings in a stew is to take the lid off, and you dig a hole, and you can have a lot more liquid in there, but the essential thing about these dumplings is that they steam. And I'm going to take the pot over here and take myself a dumpling on a spoon and drop it in there like that. See how big they are? They're not as big as an egg, but they just go in there. You don't put them too close because they're going to expand. Let me push that out of the way so that that one can get in there and have room to expand. All right? And you just stay with us and we'll just pop some dumplings in. I'll just put 4 in there now so you can see. And that's what we do. We've got dumplings which are going to cook. Now the trick is not to peek. You don't look. It's going to take 6 or 7, maybe 8 minutes, but they will be cooked if you make them small. Big ones, if you put double that size in, would take about 14 minutes. Little ones like that will take about 6 or 8 minutes. And that's how you do it. I'm going to turn the heat down underneath these peas because whoops, see here, clicking? Happens, sometimes they don't get technology right.
We get lots of suggestions like this on how to help folks tell our Idaho potatoes from those others. Thanks, but we'll keep the seal on the bag. So look for it, because if it's not from Idaho, it's just a spud.
Some people with arthritis have trouble walking. Please support the fight against arthritis.
Tonight on the Learning Channel, recall an empire unequaled in human history. They terrorized Europe, conquered the Chinese, building a civilization that would change the world forever. Now look back on the followers of Genghis Khan and their era of conquest, the Mongol hordes a storm from the east. Concluding tonight at 9 on the Learning Channel.
There are a lot of smart reasons to apply for the American Express card. Just call us at 1-800-THE-CARD.
And then a canceled flight won't leave you stranded.
I can't believe they canceled our flight.
It'll be fine. This is a great day. It's a beautiful drive.
Because unlike a bank card, the American Express card has no preset spending limit.
You can apply right over the phone.
With the American Express card, you're in control. You pay your bill in full. There's no revolving debt, no outrageous interest. You stay out of that trap.
So call 1-800-THE-CARD. You can apply right over the phone.
I still don't know where I lost that wallet. My whole life was in it. Pictures, license.
So we're on bread and water?
No. New card.
If you ever lose the card or it's stolen, you can get a replacement in 24 hours.
Don't delay. Call 1-800-THE-CARD and apply now.
Right, now just going to put those peas with all their gorgeous juice, and you can eat the lemon, you can eat the lettuce too. Lemon, goodness me. You can sprinkle a little bit of lemon on top if you like, that's nice, but there's peas with lettuce, and cooked lettuce, we'll do a show on it one day. Cooked lettuce is very, very nice. Now I'm going to use this pan for something else, and I'm going to cook a couple other vegetables, just to show you. Now, everybody knows about corn on the cob. Well, let's do corn off the cob. So we'll put some heat underneath that fire, and we'll get this corn, and we just cut it off as close as you can to the bone. All right, see the bone, the middle? Well, we just cut it off down there. And when you get fresh corn, everybody talks about it barbecued and stuff, but when it's fresh and it's full of milk, then it's just lovely. So here we are, a little bit of butter in the pan, or oil. It doesn't matter which you decide to use, but if you use butter, then use it on a lower temperature. Just turn it down to low. Take the corn and put it in the pan, and put in with it a little bit of pepper and a little bit of salt. And just to make it look pretty, let's take a little bit of red pepper, and you'll suddenly see how dramatic this looks in the pot. And I keep on telling you, you know, look at that. See, suddenly, there it is, all looking nice and pretty in the pot. You don't have to do anything other to it except put the lid on and leave the lid on for 3 minutes. That's a vegetable. Now, here's another vegetable, all right? Here's another vegetable that nobody ever buys. Parsnips. I don't know why people don't buy parsnips. Probably because they're badly cooked. They've got bad memories. But if you take a parsnip and you cut it up into pieces, all right? You cut it up into pieces about as big as French fries. Now, if you can remember the last time you went to a hamburger joint, which if you watch this show, of course you never do, you put your hand on your heart and say, I promise never to eat another hamburger again, then you have got parsnips ready, and these are going to be wonderful. Even kids love these, but you don't tell them they're parsnips, because most kids are preconditioned at birth to say, I don't like parsnips. All right, so look, a little bit of parsnip like that, and a little bit of butter in a pan. And what do we put in here now? Now this you've never heard of, but move that out of your way so you can see. All right? A little bit of ginger. You know I'm very fond of ginger. I like ginger, so a little bit of ginger. Cut it up small and put it in with the butter. All right? A little bit of, there it is. We'll put some heat underneath it. A little bit of butter, a little bit of ginger, a bit of extra ginger. What we're going to do is just cook them together very, very quickly. Bring the temperature up. A little tiny splash of water in there just to make a little steam to finish it, and they'll be cooked in about another 3 minutes as well. So there we are. We've got our, look, in here, got the corn just cooking, and we'll put a little mat underneath it to turn the temperature down. Here we've got another pan full. Hear that? Sizzling a little bit. In goes the parsnips, right? And because they're going to cook, they need to be stirred in. They need a little bit of salt. Where did I put the salt? It's over here. Here's the salt. Here's the salt. Right. A little bit of salt. And a little tiny bit of pepper. Just crank it in there. There it is. Now, we've got butter on the parsnips. Nice gingery butter. All right? And we'll put a little tiny bit of water in there. Just enough to, there, sizzle and steam them. Get all that butter going into an emulsion. This is what they might call beurre blanc if you're being very French about it. It's not real beurre blanc, but it's close enough. And of course, if you got it you know, in a fancy restaurant and they talked about parsnips au beurre blanc. They are very good this evening, monsieur. Everybody would say, oh yes, I'll have the parsnips au beurre blanc. Well, you're going to make them for yourself. That's what we're doing. So, and you see, when you've got water in a pan, you can turn the heat up high. Because if you haven't got it, because the water keeps the temperature down, the water makes sure that there's just steam happening in there. And as soon as the water goes away, you have to put a little bit more. You put water in, you put any kind of liquid. That's what cooking's all about. That's how you do it, right? So there you are. We've had a great time here. We've got a whole lot of stuff ready to go. And we've got all kinds of nice things. It's time for me to show you a peek, just a peek at the dumplings. You want to see? Are you ready? Look, see how they grew. They doubled up, and they're just wonderful.
Explore the recipes and writings of James Barber by ordering your copy of the Urban Peasant Cookbook. James Barber's anecdotes and tips, together with his fast, simple, and affordable recipes, create much more than a cookbook. To receive your copy, send $18.95 to The Urban Peasant, P.O. Box 2284, South Burlington, Vermont, 05407 2284. Or charge by phone, 1-800-322-8321.
They said it's so simple and so painless to join MCI and friends and family.
You list the names and numbers of the people that you call most often. You're going to get the 20% discount every time you call another MCI customer.
On your circle.
24 hours a day.
7 days a week.
It's a program that you get absolutely free. It's the easiest thing in the world to start a circle.
I'm on Friends and Family.
My dad in Michigan, he's on my list. I tried getting my mom to switch. Now she loves the company almost as much as I do.
We're all saving money.
No fees, no charges. Friends and Family is the greatest program in the history of long distance.
Since 1979, over 600,000 investors have called us for free speculative investment information. Call us now for information on number 1, over-the-counter new issues, growth stocks, and mutual funds. Number 2, commodity trading, futures and options using leverage. Number 3, precious metals trading, futures, bullion, and coins. Call us now if you're an adult interested in investing, and you'll receive free a copy of an investment advisory and mutual fund newsletter, or a copy of Futures Magazine and a set of commodity charts.
Thursday, the Learning Channel takes you inside the human brain. First, from the day we are born, is our destiny set? Why are men and women different? And can a predisposition be changed? We'll explore these questions on the sexual brain. Then, all of these pursuits, good and bad, have something in common. With each, we alter the mind's chemistry. Sometimes we go too far. Examine the addicted brain. Thursday, beginning at 9 on the Learning Channel.
You make a comforting dinner, and you want a comforting dessert, right? I mean, there's the vegetables. We did those. I just put them out on the plate. But you don't want to spend all day making pastry and stuff. So here's a really quick one. And it's really nice, and it's dead easy. It's called bananas au chocolat. And all it needs is for you to peel a couple bananas, or as many bananas as you think. And if you've got ice cream to go with it, that's fine. I haven't got any ice cream today. You can put crème fraîche with it. You can put whipped cream with it, or you can just eat it the way it goes. But you just peel some bananas, take them out of the skin, and then you take the fry pan and you crank it up with sort of medium heat there, and you put some butter in it. A little bit of butter. A little bit of butter is a very nice thing indeed. So here's a little bit of butter in the fry pan. Now, as soon as the butter starts to melt, which is not happening yet, it will happen, you put the bananas in. And then you get ready for it. Now, I've got this chocolate, plain chocolate, non-sweetened chocolate. And just cut it up into bits. If you do it with a sharp knife, it will sort of grate off so that you've got nice, thin slivers of chocolate. And that's all we need. Okay, now, there's the butter starting to melt. As soon as it starts to melt, you lay the bananas in. You just lay one after another, and you sprinkle a little bit of brown sugar. A little bit of brown sugar. Where's a spoon? Here's a spoon. A little bit of brown sugar into the butter so that it makes a caramel. All right? Just not too much, just a little bit. And you stir it all around. The butter and the sugar melt together. All right? And you put chocolate on top of the bananas. And then you put a lid on. Quick. And that turns it into dessert. It just lets it make itself into a sauce. Now, there's all kinds of fancy ways you can read about how to make a chocolate sauce, but this is a dead easy one, because when it's done it with a little bit of juice that comes out of the bananas, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of butter, that's the way that you make sauces. That's how you make desserts happen. And you take it to the table and everybody gets absolutely delighted because it was so simple and so quick and so easy, and you're not going, oh, because you just did it, and that's all you got to do. Just do it quickly and simply. Let's have a look. See, look, it's starting to melt already. Isn't that just great? And that's all you really got to do. So there we are. We got dessert. If you'd like these recipes, send us a stamped, self-addressed envelope to the Urban Peasant, Vancouver, British Columbia, postal code V6B 4B2. Post Office Box 5157.